Hello everyone, welcome to this session. Our today's goal is to discuss difficulty level, cutoff marks and mark reservation for each subject in the last NET JRF exam for mathematical science, which is June 2023. I'm Rajendra and let's just start for today's session. So if I talk about the subject, the first I'll talk about real analysis. From real analysis, there were 6 questions in the part B, each carries 3 marks and 18 marks were there. And the question level were easy to moderate in part B in that exam. In part C, there were 11 questions from real analysis, 4.75 marks each, which is 52.25 marks. And the level was moderate, you can say, from part C. Overall, real analysis was almost around 70 marks and good amount, and the level overall were easy to moderate. Next subject we are going to discuss is linear algebra. In linear algebra, there were 6 questions equal to real analysis in part B, and there were 9 questions in part C, each carries 4.75 marks, and the level of linear algebra, you can say it was moderate overall. Next is complex analysis. From complex analysis, there were 4 questions in part B, each carries 3 marks, 12 marks, and there were 4 questions in part C as well, 4.75 marks each, and the level of the complex analysis was either moderate or difficult. So yeah, complex analysis is getting little difficult in the last exams, from some last exams. And then the next is algebra or modern algebra. Group theory, there was pretty much good amount of group theory in your paper. 2 questions in part B, and there were 4 questions in part C. So that's like more than usually how much group theory is there in your exam. So it's like 6 plus 19. There was 25 marks from the group theory alone in your paper. The level of the group theory was easy to moderate. It wasn't difficult at all. Ring theory, there were 1 question in the part B and there were 2 questions in the part C, and the level was moderate to difficult if I consider it. Next is your applied part. In applied part, ordinary differential equation, you got 2 questions in part B and you got 3 questions in part C. And in the partial differential equation, the same, you just got 1 question in the 2 questions in part C and 2 questions in part B. So there is like as usual, it's around 15 marks and it's around 25 marks. No, it's around 20 marks. More subjects like integral equation, you got 1 question in part B and 2 questions in part C. Same for COV, 1 question in part B and 2 questions in part C. And then in the topology, you got 1 questions in part B and 2 questions in part C. And the level for all these were, you can say, moderate. Topology you can consider moderate to difficult. The questions were not that easy. There were some more questions from linear algebra or there were more questions something like numerical analysis or optimization technique or linear programming problem. From LPP, there were 1 question in your exam, and there were some like mechanics, there were 1 questions, and I am not taking statistics into consideration. Now let's talk about the total marks for each subject. If I talk about real analysis, it was of 70 marks, which is usual, very usual for real analysis. For linear algebra, it was 60.75 marks, which is also usual. For modern algebra, group theory and ring theory combined, this was 37.5 marks, which is more than usual. And the reason being is that the group theory was there more than, the group theory was like not normal. There was 25 marks from the group theory alone. Complex analysis, 31 marks, very usual, it's standard. OD plus PD, 35 marks, which is 5 marks less than usual, because usually the ordinary differential and partial differential comes for 40 marks. IE plus COV, 25 marks, almost usual. Topology, 12 marks, very usual. So that was all about the mark reservation for each topic in the last exam. And if I look for the dominance of real analysis, linear algebra, modern algebra, complex analysis, if I calculate these 4 subjects, and if you look, it's 70, 130, and it's like almost it's like almost around 200 marks. Yeah, almost around 200 marks or 199 something. So these 4 subjects are again calculating to 200 marks as usual, their complete dominance in your exam. If I move to the next part, that means the cutoff for NET June 2023 was for general category JRF, it was 54, which is almost around 108 marks, and for lecturership 48 marks, which is 48%, which is 96 marks. Okay, now what expectation you can have for the upcoming exam, or how much you should score in the next exam? Again, it's a completely subjective question. Your goal should be at least 110 or 110 plus. There were days when the cutoff for the JRF was more than 110, but 110 is somewhat safe for NET, at least whatever kind of paper you are having. That is all in this video. My goal was to give you information about the cutoffs and the paper level. Overall paper level was easy to moderate. You can say that it was moderate in the total conclusion, that the paper level was moderate, and cutoff for the general was like 108, which represents the moderate level of the paper. Alright, best of luck all of you for the upcoming exam. In this video, I'll stop here. Thanks for watching this. Don't forget to share and subscribe. I hope that this session was helpful for you.